Good evening and welcome to TV Tuan-san News at 6. My name is Khanh Linh. In today's news, the United States says it wants to launch a campaign on the Syrian city of Raqqa before the Mosul offensive is complete. 3 Vietnamese hostages returned to the country after being freed by Somali pirates. And police in Queensland say 2 children are lucky to be alive after a Gold Coast theme park accident killed 4 people. To today's top story, the United States has made its strongest indication yet, saying the battle to retake the Syrian city of Raqqa from Islamic State could be fast approaching. The battle to take the city of Mosul in Iraq is currently underway, with Iraqi and Kurdish forces backed by a US-led coalition fighting against the extremist group. Mosul and Raqqa are the 2 pillars of Islamic State's self-declared caliphate. Defense Secretary Ash Carter told reporters in Paris that the Raqqa kickoff would likely follow some additional successes in Mosul. In other world news, the United Nations has abandoned plans to evacuate patients from rebuilt Aleppo, which it had hoped to accomplish during a 3-day ceasefire last week. According to UN's official, the evacuations were obstructed by various factors, including delays in receiving approvals from local authorities and conditions placed by non-state armed groups. The official also said no patients and family members were evacuated during the 3-day Russian unilateral ceasefire. The UN has been unable to access East Aleppo since July, when Syrian government and allied forces put the eastern part of the city under siege. French workers began demolishing the jungle asylum seeker camp in Calais yesterday as their former residents, migrants seeking entry to Britain, were moved out. Police stood guard over demolition while hundreds of migrants waited for buses to take them for resettlement across France. According to France's Interior Minister, over 1,600 asylum seekers left after being processed yesterday, bringing the total to around 4,000 since the start of this week. For many of the migrants from Syria, Afghanistan and other conflict zones, the closure of the jungle marks the end of a dream to reach Britain. Now to news in Vietnam. 3 Vietnamese sailors who were held hostage by Somali pirates for more than 4 years returned home on Tuesday. Nguyễn Văn Hạ, Nguyễn Văn Xuân and Phan Xuân Phương appeared in good health and were greeted by families and friends at Nội Bài International Airport. The men were among 26 Asian sailors released on Saturday. The sailors were held hostage in March 2012 when their fishing vessel was seized by the pirates. 1 member of the crew died in the hijacking and 2 died of illnesses in captivity. A court in Hanoi has prosecuted 3 former officers of Vietnamese Ocean Shipping Company, also known as Vietnamese Lines, on charges of embezzlement. Meanwhile, local media reports that the chairman of Vietnam Railways has offered to resign. Trần Ngọc Thành, who was appointed chairman of the company in 2015, submitted his resignation to the Ministry of Transport, with the reason for his resignation undisclosed. During his 3 years working at the corporation, Thanh contributed to revamping railway service by implementing the electronic train ticket system and improving the quality of some service trains. Under his leadership, there were also some controversial projects in the railway sector, such as the purchase of old carriages from China. State media have named the men as Vietnamese Line's former Director General Trần Văn Liêm, former Chief Accountant Trần Văn Khương, and former sales managers Giang Kim Đạt. According to the indictment, when buying foreign ships, the 3 men has conspired with ship owners to rig prices. They allegedly pocketed an amount of some $11.7 million over a 2-year period. The trial for the embezzlement scandal at the shipping company is expected to be held by the end of this year or early next year. Back to news in Australia. Police in Queensland say 2 children were lucky to be alive after a water ride accident killed 4 adults at Gold Coast Dreamworld theme park yesterday. According to initial investigations, the 10-year-old boy and 12-year-old girl were thrown clear when their 60s raft on the Thunder River Rapids family water ride collided with another raft. Park owners then later announced Dreamworld would remain closed for an unspecified length of time. The Thunder River Rapids ride is Australia's only river rapids ride and opened in December 1986. Australian man Robert Andrew Fides Ellis has been jailed for 15 years for sexually abusing 11 young girls in Bali. The 70-year-old stood trial at Denpasar District Court for abusing the girls aged between 7 and 17 over a 2-year period from 2014. Prosecutors alleged he lured his victims with money and presents and then took them to his Bali home, where he bathed and sexually assaulted them. Ellis' lawyers say they will appeal the sentence. That's all from TV Tuan-san News at 6. I'm Khanh Linh. Thank you very much for watching. I look forward to your company at the same time tomorrow.